The year is 1890. We are on the coast of Maine. Carved from the sea, there is a shard of black rock, and on it, a solitary lighthouse. The fishermen do not speak of it fondly. They fear it. They call it the Devil's Horn. It is said, the light from this tower doesn't guide sailors home. It draws them to their deaths. Our story begins on a freezing November, when a new keeper arrived at this cursed lighthouse. A man named Thomas Gray. Thomas came here to escape his past, his memories. A year ago in a violent storm, he lost his 6-year-old daughter, Lucy. Thomas watched, helpless, as the ocean swallowed her whole. The previous keeper of this light, Captain Morgan, had gone mad a month prior. When the rescue boat found him, he was just muttering, the fog speaks. It calls my name." Thomas didn't believe in such superstitions. This isolation was what he craved. He thought perhaps the roar of the ocean could finally drown out the sound of his own grief. The first week passed in silence, but the second week, that is when the disturbances began. It was a full moon, but the world was smothered in a fog so thick, the lighthouse beam itself seemed to struggle to cut through it. Thomas was standing on the lantern room balcony. Suddenly, he thought he heard it. A whisper, carried on the fog. "Daddy, Daddy." Thomas's heart stopped. That voice, it was Lucy's voice. Thomas froze. He was completely alone in the tower. Then who? Who was running up the metal stairs? He grabbed his lantern and went down. No one. There was no one there. Only, on every single step of the winding staircase, were wet patches of sand and drips of seaweed, as if someone had just walked out of the ocean and straight up into his tower. Thomas thought he was going mad. The grief for Lucy was finally breaking him. The next day, in a rusted cabinet, he found the old logbook belonging to Captain Morgan. Wiping away the dust, he turned the pages, and his blood ran cold. Captain Morgan had written, October 10th, fog again. And that sound, it's calling for me. October 12th, it doesn't know my name. It just calls Daddy, but I have no children. October 15th, it just weeps. It's lost. It wants to come up, but it's afraid of the light. An icy chill ran down Thomas's spine. What Captain Morgan heard, it wasn't madness. It was real. And it wasn't his daughter, Lucy. That very night, the worst storm of the century hit. The Devil's Horn was battered by monstrous waves. Thomas was desperately trying to keep the great lantern lit against the storm. And just then, Thomas threw open the door. No one, just the howling wind. He turned towards the stairs to go down, and saw her. The little girl, a girl of 6 or 7, pale, her face hidden by wet, stringy hair. She was standing in the middle of the staircase. Thomas' voice breaking, "Lucy, my girl." The girl said nothing. She just lifted her small pale finger and pointed, not up but down towards the very base of the lighthouse, towards the locked basement storeroom. Thomas thought his daughter was trying to show him something. He followed the ghostly girl down the winding stairs, lantern in hand. He reached the basement, the door that was always locked. Tonight, the lock was broken. Thomas pushed the door open. The room was damp, dark. Thomas' voice whispering, Who's in here?" In the far corner, wrapped in a dirty blanket, someone was trembling. Thomas raised his lantern. It wasn't a ghost. It was Captain Morgan, the old keeper. Captain Morgan hadn't gone mad. He had been hiding here all along. Morgan voice laughing, "Found me, ha ha ha." She thought she could hide from me. She wanted to leave me. Thomas voice, shouting, "What is the meaning of this?" Morgan pointed to a small hole in the stone wall, where the sea was now crashing in. Morgan voice, cruel voice, "My daughter, Sarah, she wanted to run away to the mainland. I punished her. I chained her right there in that hole, to let the sea teach her a lesson. But the storm, it came too fast. I couldn't get the chains undone." All the blood drained from Thomas's face. The ghost, the weeping child calling Daddy. It wasn't his Lucy. It was Captain Morgan's daughter, the restless, terrified spirit of Sarah. Morgan shrieked and lunged at Thomas. "She's my girl. She stays here. I won't let anyone take her from me again." Thomas pushed Morgan back. The captain stumbled, falling right next to that gaping hole in the wall. And at that exact moment, a monstrous wave smashed through the hole. Before Morgan could even scream, the violent surge of the ocean grabbed him and pulled him back into the dark depths, the same depths where his daughter Sarah had drowned. When the storm finally broke, the rescue boat found Thomas Gray. He was standing calmly on the lantern room balcony. He told the rescuers, "Captain Morgan, he fell into the sea," but he never spoke of the little girl, of Sarah. Thomas Gray remained the keeper of the Devil's Horn for 10 more years. In all that time, no one ever again heard the whispering fog or the phantom crying. They say Thomas didn't just keep the lighthouse lamp lit. He finally gave peace to 2 lost souls, his own daughter's memory, and the spirit of Sarah. And from that day on, the light from the Devil's Horn no longer lured sailors to their doom. Because now, that light was infused with a father's atonement and a child's release.
Thanks for watching. Please like this video, write thought, comment below, share with friends, family, and subscribe for latest update.